Good morning, everybody. So with today's video, I'm gonna give you 12 cheapies for Christmas. This video is pretty much for the casual consumer. If you are a regular of my channel, I thank you very much. But if you're a newcomer, welcome. I am the cheapie guy, all right? So this channel pretty much caters to the everyday guy, the working man, because that's what I am. I'm a blue collar worker for over 20 years. So if you're looking for a good fragrance that's not gonna break the bank, and these are actually quite easily available, like you can get these at like TJ Maxx, Ross, Dress for Less, Marshalls, and some of them you might have to get online. So you can get them on reputable websites such as fragrancebuy.ca. You can also get it on FragranceX, perfumeonline.ca, and as well the main go that I use, fragrancenet.com. I'm not going to go into great detail about these fragrances, so if one does interest you, that will be down in the description box below because I've reviewed every single one of these. First one, however, is going to be Lalique Pour Homme. If your man out there, or if you're gifting this to somebody, is a little bit more old school, a little bit more traditional or conservative, this might be a fragrance that you might want to check out because this is old school masculine. It's very gentlemanly. This has lavender, it's got rosemary, it's got a lot of citruses of grapefruit, bergamot, and tangerine, along with a lot of cedar, sandalwood, oak moss, some patchouli, and some iris. Again, just old school masculine that's very woody, a little herbal with citruses, and I get a little bit of that iris. The iris itself adds a little bit of a powdery undertone, but it's pretty much just overshadowed by the woods in this earthiness. This is a great spring and fall fragrance, very versatile, meaning you can dress it down to dressing it up. Fragrance number 2 is a great spring and summer fragrance. If the person that you're gifting this to is a little bit more casual, then you might want to check out Azzaro Chrome Legend. This is a great, like I would say it's more green than anything. You would think that it would be a blue fragrance just because the tinge itself of the liquid is more blue, but it's more green than anything. From the tea itself, you are gonna get some bitter orange, some green apple, some musk, some oak moss, some vetiver, cedar, and I feel like there's a little bit of lavender to this one here as well. This is just more casual than anything, but at the same time, it's a great work fragrance. Whether that person is blue collar or white collar, it's just clean, green, aromatic, that's very inoffensive. If the work atmosphere is scent-free, this is not gonna offend anybody. Next fragrance is also another great spring and summer scent that's pretty much just casual and it's ageless. And that's gonna be Hugo Boss XY. This is very green with a lot of mint, a little bit of pear leaf, but as well basil with woods of cedar, musk, and patchouli. There is a little bit of bergamot in the opening, but for the most part, it's just very green. So green herbal, so mint basil with woods. That's what this fragrance pretty much is. This will just radiate off your skin when it's really hot. For next fragrance, why not stick with the brand of Hugo Boss? Because you can actually get this pretty much everywhere. It's an older fragrance. I believe it came out in 1998, but that's okay. That's gonna be Hugo Boss Hugo Dark Blue. The fragrance itself, you would think, okay, more of a spring and summer scent. It's more of a spring and fall fragrance. There is a lot of citrus in the opening with like lime and orange, but there's also a lot of ginger, a whole lot of woods of like oak and cypress with cedar. There is a little bit of ambery benzoin and vanilla towards the base. This is more casual than anything. And as well, I do think that you can rock this to school. So if you're gifting this to a young person, I think it's a good scent. It's a good introductory scent for someone who just wants to get into fragrances, really. So even though that this might be older than the student itself, to me, it's still a great scent for a young guy out there. I said that I was gonna give you 12 fragrances. Well, why not make it an unlucky 13? Because I forgot this one, and it's from Hugo Boss once again, and that's gonna be Hugo Boss Selection. This came out in 2008, I believe, and this smells a little bit more mature. I think that someone who's like late 20s and up would appreciate it. It's more of a spring and autumn fragrance, like fall. Like I would say transition from summer to fall itself, because This has a lot of musk and spices. So the spices are going to be star anise and pink pepper, which are very much there. You are going to get some grapefruit, some bergamot, a little bit of mandarin orange, some cedar needles, vetiver, patchouli, and of course the musk. Like a very musky, soft, spicy fragrance with woods and a little bit of a powdery undertone, which I'm thinking is from the musk itself. This is a great office fragrance, and I'm gonna state it here. If your guy is just looking for the one fragrance that's very versatile, this is great for like dressing down all the way to a suit and tie. If you're looking for a sexy fragrance that's cheap, Calvin Klein CK1 Shock is definitely something that you might want to look into. This is a great scent that has a lot of tobacco. The tobacco itself is more cherry-like, but you're also going to get amber, patchouli. There's going to be some warm spices of cardamom and pepper. There is going to be some green notes of basil and osmanthus, and there's going to be lavender. This is more of an autumn and winter fragrance, and I think it's a great date fragrance. If someone is going to wear this, I think it would also be a great school fragrance for a young guy out there. I can't really see this being like really a work fragrance, unless like you work in a club or something like that, then sure. But more of a school fragrance for a young guy. But if you're gifting this to an older guy, I think that this would also be a great date fragrance for an older man, but as well a younger man. Next fragrance is a perfect spring and summer fragrance for someone who's a little bit more conservative, a little bit more reserved, and a little bit more maybe introverted. And that's going to be Montblanc Explorer Platinum. This is a great versatile fragrance, casually all the way to a suit and tie. This has violet leaves, it's got clary sage and cedarwood. So it's very woody and it's aromatic with a little bit of herbal tones from the clary sage itself. A little old school, mature. This is great like casually. I would say a little bit, maybe a little bit more dressy casual, but all the way to a suit and tie. It's a signature scent as well for an old school gentleman. Next scent is actually a great spring and summer scent. It's a feel-good fragrance that is casual. The brand itself, in my opinion, it really caters to the younger guys out there, but this fragrance itself is been there, done that. It's not for the young, it's pretty much ageless, and you can get this pretty much anywhere you look in the US. Hollister Wave. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and whenever I go to the States, whether it's Buffalo, New York, or even Miami, I stop at a Ross or Marshall's. They have so many fragrances from this brand, but this one here has a lot of citruses of yuzu, as well grapefruit. There is lavender, there is sea salt, driftwood, musk, cypress, and I think bamboo as well. This is pretty much just like an aquatic fragrance with some driftwood, so it adds that woody nuance. Think of driftwood washing onto the beach. So if you're from Florida, think of that with some sea salt and a little bit of like a green bamboo. That's what this fragrance is. It's more of a feel-good, relaxing type of fragrance. Next fragrance is a great spring and summer fragrance that's actually pretty versatile, like dressing it down all the way to a tuxedo. So it's a signature scent worthy scent in my opinion, and that's going to be Azzaro por Homme Cologne Intense. This has a little bit of an old school feel, but that's modern. So this is really not dated. What you're going to get, a lot of lime, lavender, and mastic. Mastic adds this resinous, sometimes balsamic-y touch, but for the most part, it's just very fresh, very aromatic and clean. This will go great with a suit and tie all the way to a white t-shirt and jeans. It's really that. So if your guy is a little bit more casual, boom, right here. If your guy's a little bit more proper, a little bit more old school, boom, right here. Okay, so I screwed up once again. I said 12 fragrances, then 13. It's actually 15, guys. Oh my Lord. Old man brain right here. But this table has also got a shit ton of clutter. But next one is going to be Perry Ellis 360 Red. This is one of the ones that I forgot. This is pretty much Armani Acqua di Gio with spices, such as cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and coriander. A ton of lime and mandarin orange, along with orange and bergamot. So citrusy and spicy, with some lavender, sandalwood, red cedar, and musk. Perfect for the spring and summertime. It's more casual than anything. This is a great school fragrance, but at the same time, it's a great work fragrance. And the other one that I forgot is going to be Burberry For Men or Burberry Classic For Men. Depending on where you look, that's what it's called. This is an older fragrance that came out in 1995. It does smell like the 90s, but this is a fragrance for someone who is a little bit more old school, a little bit more conservative, you know, a little bit older. Really, I find that this has that mature feel. If you're a young guy who likes it, then you rock it. But it's got lavender and bergamot. It's got a little bit of green notes of thyme and mint, woods of sandalwood, cedar. It's definitely got musk, amber, some oak moss, and geranium. It's citrusy, it's woody, a little geranium, fresh, old school masculine right here. Guys, this list has been pretty much dominated with freshies. Freshies generally are like safe, clean, and just generic. But if you're an everyday guy who wants something a little bit more, a little bit classy, that's perfect for the autumn and wintertime, Rochas Moustache EDP is for you. This is a little old school, but modern. Oh yeah, very classy. A little mature, but it has notes of pink pepper. It's got Atlas cedar, benzoin, so there is that little bit of amber. There's going to be patchouli with a little bit of rose. This is a gentleman's fragrance out there. So if you're gifting this to somebody, they are probably a little bit more older, a little bit more of a gentleman, or if they're a younger person, an older soul. So I just find that this does have that mature feel. This is resinous, it's ambery, it's woody with a little bit of rosy and a little bit of spices. Classy, but at the same time, a little sexy. And last but not least, this is a long video. We're at 25 minutes sharp right here. But if your man is a bad boy, a man's man kind of guy, this fragrance is perfect. Bentley For Men Absolute. This is more of an autumn and winter fragrance, long lasting, but this is very masculine, but at the same time, it's very gentlemanly. This is a spicy fragrance with ginger and pink pepper, but it's very woody and ambery, and olibanum as well. There is a little bit of a smokiness from it. I think it's from the oud. On skin, I don't really get the oud, but I definitely get a lot of the cedar and that sandalwood. I also get a lot of the amber as well with some spices. This is bad boy, man's man, all the way to like an old school manly kind of guy. I find that the old school manly is more like the quiet kind of guy that's very gently but knows how to throw down. And guys, I believe that is it. I believe that is 15. I might be wrong. It's been a long day of recording and I got one more video to go as well, which is a bigger video than this one here. But these are great fragrances, whether they're for the summertime or the wintertime, that are not going to break the bank. They're not going to cost you more than $40 USD. If you want to see actual reviews of those, they will all be down in the description box below, just in case that you're a newcomer to this channel that is actually interested in a few of these. And if you like this list in this video, please show YouTube that you like this video by leaving me one of these. Please trust me, I hate asking, but it really does help you with the algorithms. The algorithms are nothing but a pain in the ass. All right, so guys, thank you for your time, take care, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody.